42% of people are paying for at least one subscription right now that they have completely forgotten about. Not reduced. Not reconsidering. Forgotten. The money leaves their account every single month, and they could not tell you what it is for if you asked them directly. And here is the thing that makes this more than a minor inconvenience. $120 a month, redirected from forgotten subscriptions and put to work consistently over 40 years, becomes approximately $318,000. $318,000 from canceling the things you forgot you were paying for and putting that money to work instead. This video is about why you have not done that yet, and about why the reason feels completely reasonable from the inside. In the last video on this channel, we talked about a man who kept closing a browser tab. A small invisible inaction repeated month after month that compounded into a cost he never calculated because he never looked at it directly. This video is about the same pattern in a different form. Not the money you are losing in one large visible moment. The money you are losing in dozens of small invisible ones. She is 32 years old, and she considers herself good with money. Not exceptional. Not the kind of person who reads financial forums or tracks their net worth in a spreadsheet every Sunday morning. But good. Careful. The kind of careful that comes from watching a parent struggle with money and deciding quietly that the same thing would not happen to her. She tracks her rent. She knows what her car costs her each month. She has a rough sense of what she spends on food, and she feels a small but genuine satisfaction when she comes in under budget on a grocery run. She checks her bank balance most mornings, not out of anxiety but out of habit, the way some people check the weather. She likes to know where she stands. She has read enough about personal finance to know that the big decisions matter. The house, the pension, the emergency fund. She is working on all three. Slowly, carefully, the way a person works on things they take seriously. She opened a stocks and shares ISA last year. She increased her pension contribution by 2% when she got her last pay rise. She feels most of the time like she is moving in the right direction. She would describe herself as someone who does not waste money. She believes this genuinely. It is not a story she tells other people. It is a story she has told herself enough times that it has become indistinguishable from a fact. What she does not track is her subscriptions. Not because she is careless, because they do not feel like a category that requires tracking. Each one is a small monthly charge. Each one made complete sense when she signed up for it. Together they form a financial pattern she has never seen because she has never looked at them all in the same place at the same time. There is the streaming service she joined 3 years ago. She watches it occasionally. Mostly she forgets it exists until something she wants to see gets recommended to her, and she remembers she already has access. She has thought about canceling it twice. Both times something she wanted to watch appeared and she decided to keep it. The content library is large enough that canceling always feels premature. There is always something she might want to watch eventually. Eventually is doing a lot of work for $12.99 a month. There is the second streaming service she joined 14 months ago for one specific series. The series finished. She did not cancel. She has watched approximately 4 hours of content on it since the series ended, 3 of which were the same documentary she fell asleep during twice. It charges her every month with a quiet consistency she stopped noticing 6 months ago. The charge appears on her statement between 2 other small charges, and she processes all 3 as background noise. There is the third streaming service that came bundled with something else she signed up for. She is not entirely sure what. She has logged into it twice, both times to check whether it had anything worth watching, and concluded both times that it did not, and kept paying for it anyway. $8.99 a month for a service she has spent approximately 20 minutes using. There is the gym membership. She joined with genuine intention 18 months ago. She went consistently for the first 6 weeks, which felt like the beginning of a habit, and then a period of work pressure interrupted the routine and the habit dissolved. That was 14 months ago. She has not canceled because canceling feels like closing a door on the version of herself who is going to go back. That version still feels possible. The gym is 3 minutes from her flat. She passes it on the way to the supermarket. Every time she passes it, she thinks about going back. The membership costs her $42 a month. In 14 months, that is $588 spent on a building she has not entered. There is the meal kit delivery service she signed up for during a period when she was trying to eat better and cook more. She paused it twice. The second pause lapsed and the deliveries resumed. She canceled 2 of the last 3 boxes before they shipped, paying a cancellation fee each time. She has not canceled the subscription itself because the interface makes cancellation genuinely difficult, buried behind 3 screens and a retention offer. And she has not had the 20 minutes to navigate it without getting frustrated and closing the tab. There is the cloud storage upgrade she signed up for on a Sunday afternoon in a mild panic about losing her photos. The panic lasted 1 afternoon. The charge has lasted 2 years, $199 a month. She has not thought about it since the day she signed up. Her new phone has enough storage that she no longer needs the upgrade. The photos are backed up in 2 other places. She is paying $199 a month for a problem she solved 18 months ago. There is the news app she subscribed to during a news cycle that felt important at the time. She cannot now remember what the story was. The app sends her notifications she dismisses without opening. That was 8 months ago. $9.99 a month for a notification she swipes away. Each of these decisions made complete sense at the moment it was made. Each one passed the mental cost-benefit test that every subscription passes when you sign up. You are paying for access to something you want. The monthly charge is small enough not to feel significant. The benefit feels real in the moment. The future version of you who will keep using it feels plausible because you want to be the person who uses it. The problem is not the decision to sign up. The problem is the decision that never gets made. The reassessment. The moment when you look at the full list and ask whether the person you are today is actually using what the person you were 18 months ago signed up for. That reassessment almost never happens. Not because people are irresponsible, because the brain is not wired to feel small, repeated costs the way it feels large, single ones. If someone asked her today what she spends on subscriptions each month, she would say something in the range of $40 to $60. That is her honest estimate. That is what it feels like from the inside. The actual figure is $147. She is wrong by approximately 2.5 times. Survey after survey across the last 5 years shows the same pattern. People underestimate their total subscription spending by 2 to 3 times what they actually pay. The gap is not because they are lying to themselves. It is because the brain processes each subscription as an individual small expense rather than as a category with a total. You feel $4.99. You feel $9.99. You do not feel the 147 because 147 never appears on a single line of anything you look at. This is not a personal failing. This is how the subscription economy was designed. Every company running a subscription service understands this pattern better than most of their customers do. They know the monthly charge needs to be small enough not to trigger cancellation. They know the friction of canceling needs to feel higher than the friction of paying. Their most profitable customer is not the one who loves the product. It is the one who forgot they are paying for it. That understanding changes how you look at every subscription you own. There are 2 versions of the next 10 years for someone in her position. In the first version, nothing changes. The subscriptions continue. The charges appear every month and get processed as background noise. The gym membership stays active for another year, maybe 2, until the guilt of not canceling finally outweighs the guilt of admitting she is not going back. The streaming services accumulate one more, then another, because there is always a new one launching with something she wants to watch. The meal kit delivery gets canceled eventually after one too many boxes arrive on a week she is traveling. The cloud storage renews silently for another 3 years. The news app sends notifications she never opens until the annual renewal appears and she finally cancels it, annoyed that she forgot for another 12 months. In this version, she spends approximately $1,764 a year on subscriptions. Over 10 years, that is $17,640. Not invested, not working. Leaving her account every month in amounts too small to feel, but large enough to matter when you finally look at the total. In the second version, she spends one Tuesday evening with her bank statement. She writes down every subscription. She answers 3 questions for each one. She cancels the ones that fail the third question. The whole process takes 40 minutes. She frees $92 a month. She puts that $92 into the same stocks and shares ISA she opened last year. She does not think about it again. The money works while she sleeps. While she is at the gym she now actually goes to because she canceled the membership she was not using and joined one closer to her office. While she is watching the one streaming service she genuinely uses and enjoys. In 10 years, the difference between these 2 versions of her financial life is not dramatic. It does not feel like the difference between wealth and poverty. It feels like the difference between a person who has options and a person who wonders where all the money went. In 40 years, the difference is $318,000. Same income, same job, same city, same person. One Tuesday evening with a bank statement. There is a moment that arrives differently for different people, but arrives eventually for almost everyone. For her, it arrived on a Tuesday evening when she was reviewing her bank statement for a different reason entirely. She was looking for a charge she did not recognize to make sure it was legitimate. While scrolling, she saw the streaming service she had joined for one series, then the gym, then the cloud storage, then the meal kit delivery she thought she had canceled, then the news app, then the second streaming service, then the third. She sat with the screen for a moment, not in shame, in recognition. She felt the specific clarity of someone who has finally looked directly at something they had been looking past for a long time. It was smaller than the looking away had made it feel. The total was $147 a month, $1,764 a year. Money she had earned, money she had been careful about in every other area of her financial life, leaving her account every month for services she had either forgotten about or was barely using. She opened a notes app. She wrote down every subscription on the list. Next to each one she wrote 3 things: what it costs, when she last used it, whether she would sign up for it today if it did not already exist. The gym membership, $42, last used 14 months ago. Would she sign up today? No. The second streaming service, $13.99, last used for 4 hours across 14 months. Would she sign up today? No. The third streaming service, $8.99, last logged in twice. Would she sign up today? No. The cloud storage upgrade, $1.99, no longer needed. Would she sign up today? No. The news app, $9.99, has not opened in 8 months. Would she sign up today? No. The meal kit delivery, $45, canceled 2 of last 3 boxes. Would she sign up today? Uncertain. In 40 minutes, she had canceled 5 subscriptions and paused a 6th. The monthly saving was $92. She did not feel like she had given something up. She felt like she had found something. This is the framework. It has a name. The invisible drain. The invisible drain is not a single subscription costing you too much. It is the collective weight of small charges that individually pass your mental cost-benefit test, and collectively represent a significant monthly outflow you have never calculated because you have never looked at them as a group. The invisible drain operates on one principle. You cannot fix what you cannot see. The antidote is one specific action taken once a year: the subscription audit. Here is exactly how it works. You open your bank statement. You go back 3 months. You look at every recurring charge, every monthly payment, every annual payment that appeared in the last 3 months. You write every single one down in one place, not in your head, on paper or in a notes app, every one. Then for each subscription, you answer 3 questions. What does it cost me per month? When did I last use it? Would I sign up for this today if it did not already exist? If the answer to the third question is no, you cancel it before you close the list. Not later, now. Because later means never, and never means the charge continues for another 12 months until the next time you happen to scroll past it. That is the whole thing. 1 hour, 1 list, 3 questions, done. Now let me show you what that 1 hour is actually worth. The average person who completes a subscription audit for the first time finds between $60 and $120 per month in subscriptions they no longer want or need. Let us use the conservative end of that range. $60 per month freed. $60 per month invested consistently in a broad market index fund at 7% average annual return over 40 years becomes approximately $159,000. Use the middle of the range. $90 per month. That becomes approximately $238,000 over 40 years at the same rate. Use $120 per month. That becomes approximately $318,000. But across every reasonable assumption, the subscription audit produces more wealth per hour than almost anything else you will do with your finances. Think about what $318,000 actually means in a life. It is the difference between retiring at 62 and working until 67. It is the emergency fund that means a job loss does not become a crisis. It is the money that means your children do not start their adult lives watching you struggle. It is not an abstract number on a spreadsheet. It is options. The kind of options that most people spend their entire working lives wishing they had, and never quite managing to build because the money that would have built them left in amounts too small to notice. And the entire mechanism that prevents it from being built is not a bad investment decision. It is not a market crash. It is not a job loss or a medical bill or any of the large dramatic events people associate with financial difficulty. It is a gym membership they did not cancel 14 months ago. It is a streaming service they joined for one series. It is a cloud storage upgrade they signed up for on a Sunday afternoon and forgot about by Monday morning. This calculation assumes $120 per month invested consistently at 7% average annual return over 40 years. 7% is the approximate historical average annual return of a broad, diversified market index after inflation adjustment. It is not a guarantee. It is a historically grounded assumption. Your actual return will vary. You already know what to do with this information. You have known since the first paragraph of this video that there is something on your own statement you have been dismissing the same way. The question is not whether you have subscriptions you have forgotten about. You do. The question is what you are going to do about it. Not next month. Not when you have more time. Tonight. Open your bank statement. Go back 3 months. Write down every recurring charge. Answer the 3 questions for each one. Cancel anything that fails the 3rd question before you close the list. The $60 to $120 you free up does not need to go into an investment account immediately. Start with the cancellations. The redirection comes in a second step, but the audit has to happen first because you cannot redirect money you do not know you are losing. This is what she understood when she sat with her bank statement on a Tuesday evening. Not that she had been foolish with money. She had not been. She had been careful with everything she could see. The invisible drain does not take money from people who are careless. It takes money from people who are careful about everything they are looking at and have simply never looked at this. 1 hour, once a year. That is the entire cost of protecting $300,000 in future wealth. The next video on this channel examines a different kind of invisible cost, not the money leaving your account, the money that never enters it because of one decision made at a salary negotiation that felt completely reasonable at the time and has been compounding against you ever since. If you opened your bank statement right now and wrote down every recurring charge, how many of them would fail the third question? You do not have to answer out loud, but you already know the number is not zero. Signing off, David Hangrove.